It's midday. The sun is directly overhead. There's no shade anywhere. The couple are squinting like they've just walked out of a nightclub into the daylight. Your highlights are blowing out instantly and your shadows are just gone. Pitch black. You take one test shot. You look at the back of the camera and you immediately think, how does anyone make this look good? Because everything you've ever learned is about nice light, soft light, flattering light, golden hour. None of it applies here. Welcome to harsh sunlight wedding photography. The lighting situation that nobody really talks about, but everybody secretly hates. But today, I'm going to show you how professional wedding photographers deal with this. Calmly, confidently, and without panicking. Alright, if you've ever photographed an outdoor ceremony or couple portraits at midday and thought this light is absolutely horrific, you're not being dramatic, you're right. Harsh midday sun is genuinely one of the hardest lighting situations in wedding photography, especially when you're still building your confidence, because it just feels like it's not fixable. Like the sun has personally decided to ruin your day. So welcome to episode 2 of my series, Wedding Photography Problems and How the Pros Fix Them. It's a 10-part series dropping every Thursday at 3 PM UK time. And we're talking about the stuff that actually happens on wedding days. No styled shoot nonsense, not perfect conditions, just real problems and real fixes. And just like episode 1, I've made you a free PDF cheat sheet to go along with this episode. It breaks down how to deal with harsh midday sun, where to position your couples, when a flash can actually help, and the biggest mistakes to avoid. The link for this is in the description. Save it to your phone, because this one you'll definitely come back to. And whilst you're down there, you can jump on my mailing list too. I send a weekly newsletter with wedding photography tips, gear reviews, and the occasional freebie. And I'm just saying, there might be a little surprise waiting for you when you sign up. Right, today we're talking about how to shoot harsh midday sun without ruining your wedding photos and without stressing you out. Let's start with why this feels so horrible. Because once you understand the problem, you can stop blaming yourself. At midday, the sun is high. Like really high. Which means that the light is coming straight down from above. And that does a few things that's basically designed to make people look worse. The shadows fall directly under the eyes, nose and chin. Eye sockets go dark, foreheads and noses blow out instantly, and the contrast is just very extreme. This is where you get that classic look. Raccoon eyes, shiny skin, harsh shadows, bright highlights, and your camera suddenly feels like it's got no room for error, because you can be slightly off with your exposure and the whole image falls apart. And I want you to hear this bit clearly. This isn't a camera issue. It's not your settings, and it's definitely not because you're bad at photography. It's a light direction problem. And once you know that, you can start fixing it like a pro. Okay, so the first thing that pros do in harsh sun is they start hunting for what I call micro shade. Because when beginners here find some shade, they think massive trees, buildings, and like full cover. Professionals think small. Micro shade can be the edge of a wall shadow, or the side of a building, a doorway, a fence shadow, or even some shade created by the couples themselves. And here is the important bit. If you can get even part of the face into shade, you've already improved your situation massively. This part sounds a bit silly, but it's so true. Sometimes moving the couple one step left can completely change the light. One step to the right and suddenly you've got harsh shadows again. And that is why pros are constantly scanning the ground. Scanning walls, looking at the direction of light and asking, where can I steal just a tiny bit of shade? This isn't about fancy posing, it's problem solving. And on a wedding day, the photographer who can problem solve the fastest is the one who looks like they just have some confidence. But really, they're just making smart little decisions. Let's say you're outside the venue. No trees, no shade, but there is a building behind you. If you put the couple right on the edge of that shadow line, you can get soft, flattering light on their faces and still have bright, sunny vibes in the background. And that is a massive win. Now, one of the best ways to deal with harsh sunlight is to stop fighting it and just put it behind the couple. Backlighting is one of those things that once you get comfortable with it, you'll use it all of the time, because it does a few really powerful things. It removes all harsh facial shadows. It softens your skin quickly. It gives you separation from the background. And it usually just looks more flattering straight away. But, and this part matters, backlight only works if you expose correctly. Because if you underexpose, the faces go dark. And if you overexpose, the sky just turns into a white nuclear explosion. So here's what the professionals do. They expose for faces first, and then they manage the highlights carefully. And honestly, that's the big difference. Backlighting isn't risky. Guessing is risky. If you can train yourself to look at the exposure properly, whether that's using your histogram, zebras, or just knowing what your camera tends to do, this becomes one of the safest ways to shoot in awful light. And by the way, if you're thinking, yeah, but what about flare? Flare can look amazing, but you don't want it accidentally. If you want flare, introduce it intentionally by shifting slightly until it hits the lens, and then lock your exposure. Right, flash. This is where people can get confused. Yes, your flash can help you in harsh sunlight, but not to overpower the sun and not to make the couple look like glowing ghosts. Outdoor flash in this situation is usually just used for fill. So what it's doing is lifting shadows, brightening eye sockets, and reducing the contrast slightly. That's it. It's fill flash, not look at my flash. If you can clearly see that the image has a flash fired in the final image, then it's probably too strong. I always like to describe it as seasoning. A little bit makes everything better, but too much of it is going to ruin the dish. And no, you do not need to blast full power like you're trying to signal an aircraft. If you want a simple mental check, zoom into the eyes on the back of the camera. If you've got a nice little catch light and the shadows aren't swallowing the eye sockets, you're in the right place. Now, settings do matter, but they're not magic. In harsh midday sun, professionals will usually use faster shutter speed, protect the highlights first, avoid shooting with your lens wide open unless there's a reason, because the goal here isn't dreamy background blur. It's a clean, controlled exposure. And here's the line that I want you to remember. If the light is bad, no settings will save it. Positioning always comes first. Settings just support the decision that you've already made. If you're someone who shoots wide open by default, like me, try stopping down a bit in harsh sun. it gives you more control, and it can actually make your images look cleaner and more intentional in this kind of light. Alright, let's talk about mistakes, because we've all done these. Mistake number 1 is putting couples directly facing the sun and then wondering why they look miserable. Like, of course they do. They can't see, their eyes are watering, they're trying not to squint, and it looks just forced. Mistake number 2 is saying, it's fine, we'll fix it in editing. No, you won't. You might improve it, but you won't save it. If the highlights are gone in the raw image, they're gone. If the shadows are crushed, then they're crushed. It's as simple as that. Mistake number 3 is planting your feet and refusing to move. Harsh sunlight demands movement, observation, and decision making. If you stay still, you lose. And mistake number 4, this one's my favourite, blaming your camera. The sun really doesn't care about what camera you own. It will humble everyone equally. Here's the mindset shift that professionals make. Midday sun isn't a disaster. It's a constraint. And constraints force better decisions. The pros don't wait for perfect light. They work with what they have. Angles, positioning, and timing. Once you stop wishing for clouds and start working with direction, everything just gets easier. So that's episode 2 of wedding photography problems and how the pros fix them. Hopefully this is going to save you a bit of stress next time you're battling that full-on midday sun. If you want a quick wedding day reference for everything that we've just covered, I've put together a free PDF cheat sheet and it's linked below. It's designed to live on your phone, be checked in about 10 seconds when you're under pressure, help you stay calm in harsh sunlight, and keep you moving without overthinking it. And if you want weekly wedding photography tips, honest gear reviews, and the occasional freebie, I've also got a mailing list that you can jump on. That's in the description below as well. There might even be a little surprise waiting for you when you sign up. And remember, this is a 10-part series with new episodes every Thursday at 3 PM UK time. Next up, we're tackling tiny bridal prep rooms and how the pros still get clean photos in absolute chaos. If this video's helped you, do me a quick favour. Hit the like button, drop a comment with your biggest sunlight struggle, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And lastly, if you haven't already seen episode 1, it's going to be linked in the end screen for you to check out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday.